Doug Ward at Tech Britain. We're in the Wayra space in London, here with Michael. Thanks for your time again, Michael. Co-founder of Pollarize Me. It's a fantastic story. I'm going to shut up and tell them how did it come about?
Well, it started at late March this year in Google Campus. We did a hackathon at Startup Week in London, and basically I went down there after winning a ticket through the Next Web. So I didn't even plan to go to the weekend myself. Had a hard week, and then got a tweet off the Next Web saying that you won a ticket, come down tomorrow for a 54-hour hacking session. I've been planning to go to bed that weekend, so it was a bit of a tough choice. But in the end, I went down and met with Matt and Jean, who aren't here today, unfortunately. But we founded Pollarize Me, put it together over the weekend, rough, kind of bare bones alpha version, and went on to win it. And on the back of that, because Wayra were a sponsor of Startup Weekend, they advised us to apply to their incubator program. And after 2 months, we're in. This is where we are now.
It's a very awesome space. Yeah. So how long have you been here for?
Well, I've been here for the last week, so last Monday. So this is a week today, yesterday. And a lot of the guys in my team and other teams are still finishing out their notice periods of their previous day jobs. I had a good feeling that we might get something with Pollarize Me, so I gave my notice in a bit earlier than everyone else, and I finished my job at the end of May actually.
And what were you doing before this?
I was in a design agency called Top Left Design in Soho, doing web design for 3 years, and it was quite a tough choice to leave actually, because I've been there for such a long time and I knew everyone so well. But I thought, this is the kind of thing that comes along once in a lifetime. You can't really.
Absolutely.
You can't really.
The story is insane. Like you weren't even going to go to Start Weekend. It was like, you won a ticket.
Yeah. It's one of those lucky breaks, I guess.
Crazy. So talking about Pollarize Me, what is Pollarize Me, Michael?
It's a social decision-making application. So basically, you're allowed to post a question with 2 answers and push that out to all your social networks. So we kind of sit above Twitter and Facebook and the like, and we we get people to help make up your mind basically. So if you've got a choice between 2 different phones or 2 different dresses, even if you're a girl, of course. We allow you to kind of put that question out to everyone that follows you on Twitter or your friends on Facebook, and get them to come back into our application and help them, make the choice for you basically. It's basically an evolution of flipping a coin.
It's an awesome idea. Yeah, nice and simple.
We're hoping. It's a very simple idea. Yeah, I think that's what's so good about it.
Absolutely, yeah. No, very cool. So this will probably get out there August, September time. What can we expect by then? Will be anything out there by then?
Well, up until now we've been working on a web-based alpha version. We've got that out there at the moment, but that was kind of like our test bed. So we wanted to build a native iPhone application so that we could utilise the camera functionality for taking 2 pictures of 2 different things that you might want to choose between. But we didn't want to jump straight into that, because first of all we wanted to get an alpha out so we could show people, and it would help us through the Wayra process to potentially get in. And secondly, we realised that it's quite an ordeal to get an app update pushed through the App Store. And because we're iterating every day at the moment, we couldn't afford to, have that time delay. Sure. So we wanted to get something that was how we wanted it before we build that into an app. The plan being that once we get into Wayra, so this week, we can start working on the app and hopefully get it out late July, early August. So by the time this goes out, I guess the app should be out there on the App Store.
Awesome, no pressure.
Yeah. I'll set myself a deadline.
Yeah, that's good. So speaking about the Wayra application, how was that?
It was nerve-wracking. I think there's over 1,000 applications from 1,000 different teams applied to it, and it's been whittled down to 16 that have actually got in. So there's a couple of stages along that, and each time it was make or break time in our heads. preparing ourselves for the worst, and thinking, okay, what are we going to do? Go back to the day jobs, or set up an agency, or thinking of contingency plans basically.
Sure.
But each time we managed to get through somehow, and
how many of them was there? Like
there was
Whitman guys?
The first application involved putting together like a business plan and a video, so that they could go through the thousands of those and pick out a selection of good ones. And then there was another one where we had to be interviewed by some of the guys at Wira to kind of get the shortlist down to a shorter list. And then more recently there was what they call Wire Week, where 3 days we came into this building. So, give us a taste of what we could get, which made it all the more...
Dangled it.
Yeah. I would have been devastated if we didn't get in. But, I mean, as I'm sure you'll probably see on the other part of this video, the space is amazing.
It is, yeah.
You see these top 5 lists of offices around the world, and, this is brand new, so we're not on them yet, but it will be.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
It's even a punching bag we've just seen.
Yeah.
In case anybody's having a breakdown
That's
with the product.
when the code won't go right, you can hit the bag. Yeah.
So the last kind of process, what was that? So you were in the space.
So we had the 3-day Wire Week where there was the first day of speaking to mentors. So they got a bunch of talented people and experienced in the industry to have a chat with us, maybe go over our pitches or our business models, that kind of stuff, or just give us general advice. So we had a few people talk to us on the first day, and then we were just basically preparing our pitch for a Dragon's Den-esque 9-judge ring, where we had to pitch to them, and that was the final pitch basically. So if you imagine Dragon's Den, but instead of 4 people it'd be 9.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what we had to go through. So it's
scary.
quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the 3 days, they deliberated and made their choices. So from 40 finalists, it went down to 16.
Proud feeling. Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's awesome.
Did a few days celebrating afterwards.
Yeah, I know. Quite rightly, yeah. So the vision for Pollarize Me, what is the grand vision?
Well, we want to basically be the go-to app for if you need to make a choice and you're struggling. So any day-to-day decision that you might happen to come across. So like I said, buying a phone, buying any type of product, or even what day to have a meet-up with your friends, that kind of stuff. You can use the app to basically crowdsource the decision and come to an agreement that everyone agrees upon, or decide on a product that people recommend, and you can value those recommendations because it's your friends on Facebook or your followers on Twitter, and it's not just random people.
I love the analogy of flipping a coin. It's like the modern day version.
Pretty much is, yeah. I mean, you're only allowed 2 options in our app, and we wanted to keep it that way because there's a lot of different competitors out there that we've got, which might allow you more freedom in what you can ask, so more options, more open-ended answers, that kind of stuff. We want to keep it very, very strict because we want people to get an actionable outcome. So if you're trying to decide between 2 phones and you've got someone coming in and saying, what about this third one? You've probably already considered those and you've whittled it down to 2 options already. You just want help deciding between the 2 you've got, and on the back of that you'd get an outcome that you can take action upon, and then go and buy that phone, not have to reconsider and other things you don't want to think about.
Sure. I've got to ask you, I know it's early days at Wayra, but obviously we interviewed you before as part of the 3 Beards, and I'm just realising I had a shave this morning. That was a mistake. But, very, very cool what you're doing there with the silicon drink about, and you've obviously got the digital sizzle. Do you think you're going to be able to maintain that while you're doing Pollarize Me?
Well, I think if anything I'll have a bit more time. Before we got into Wira, I was working a full-time job Monday to Friday, 9 to 6, as well as in my evenings, running digital sizzle, silicon drink about, and Pollarize Me to an extent.
That's pretty crazy.
Plus a bit of freelance work as well. So at the moment I've got, my full-time job is now Pollarize Me, and I've got my free time to work on the event side of things and keep that going. So if anything, we've got a bit more time to play around with. So.
Awesome. We've got to get a shout out there because there's some cool events. So definitely if you're in London, we'd we're putting our name to the cool event.
Yeah, can't tell.
But yeah, I'd like to say thanks for your time.
Yeah,
Real
thanks
pleasure,
for
man.
coming. That's heavy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Cheers.